So we are going to discuss liabilities now. Liabilities is a debt that the business has. So they owe money to their creditors because they bought goods on credit, or they borrowed money from a financial institution, so they owe the money and they have to pay that loan. So a liability, very important, will result in an outflow of money in the future. So you have this liability because you bought on credit or you borrowed money. Now, just as with assets, it's very important to divide the liabilities between non-current liabilities and current liabilities. So non-current liabilities is when you will take longer than 12 months in the future to pay back the loan. So say for instance I have a loan, and at the end of the month, financial year, the outstanding amount is 120,000. So that is the debt that you have after all the recordings of the transactions of the current year. And then you know that you will pay 80,000 during the next year. So 80,000 will be paid within 12 months. So that means that you will owe 40,000 for more than 12 months in the future. So when I do my balance sheet, I will have to indicate that this 80,000 will be a non-current, this I will pay within, so current liability, because I'm going to pay out this money within 12 months. This 80,000 will be a non-current liability because I will take more than 12 months in the future to pay for it. Okay, so non-current liabilities are basically two different types of liabilities. The one is a mortgage loan. So it means that you obtain this loan when you purchase property, and you have to give your property as security to the bank, so that if you don't pay your monthly installments, they can take your property back. And in South Africa, you get between 20 and 30 years to repay that loan. That current liabilities, the value will be paid over a period shorter than 12 months in the future. So that means it's, for instance, a bank overdraft. That is when you write out, take money out of the bank more than you've got in the bank. So you make an arrangement with the bank that you can withdraw more money, and then you have a bank overdraft. In this bank overdraft, it means that you owe money to the bank and you will have to pay interest that's quite high. The other current liability is trade creditors. So that's when you buy goods on credit and you will get between 1 or 6 months to pay it off, depending on the creditor and the contract that you signed with your creditors. So the bank overdraft you will have to pay as soon as you've got money because the interest rate is very high. Trade creditors, you sign a contract with the creditor on how many months they will give you credit. So those are my current liabilities because this money will be paid within 12 months. My non-current liabilities is where I will pay back over a period longer than 12 months. So that is, for instance, the mortgage loan, where you will take 20 to 30 years. And then another loan is, for instance, a loan to buy a car or machinery or equipment, and you get about 12 to 16 months to pay it back in South Africa. The longer you take in both these cases to pay back the money, the more interest you will pay. So if you have a non-current liability, you should try and pay it as soon as possible to reduce the expense for interest.